What I wanted to do is talk for just a minute about the chart of accounts and some of the things that you might want to be aware of before you start trying to create your own chart of accounts, and some of the reasons that we have the accounts laid out the way we do. Now, we do follow the standardized accounting process principles as far as the first number of the account lets you know whether it's an asset or an expense or a liability and so forth. The chart of accounts itself allows you to actually group accounts any way you want. You basically create a master account and then put things in it. You can have up to 3 levels of master and child accounts. The P&L and balance sheet actually respect what the chart of accounts looks like when they're printing. So anything that you've set up over here as far as grouping will be respected on the P&L when you print a level 1, 2, or 3. Level 1 is basically your main master, and level 2 would be your secondary, and level 3 would be a full detail. So all of that stuff runs pretty straightforward. Now, one of the problems that we run into a lot is dealers will get started over, or business will get started over on Lizzy, and they want to create the chart of accounts to look exactly like their chart of accounts. And our initial response to that is please don't. You are fully capable of doing that. But the problem is that, as you're fixing to see, there's a lot of stuff that we've already set up for you that is ready to rock and roll. And if you go and replace the chart of accounts, you have days and days of setup work that you're going to have to do just to get things up and running. You also lose a bit of capability, and I'm going to show you what you would lose as well. So the first thing I want to do is jump over here to settings. And I'm just going to look at the accounting defaults, but just know that what you're seeing here actually exists in inventory and invoicing and general payroll. There's default accounts that are set up all over the system. So as an example, here is the default account receivable account that we're going to hit when we create account receivables. If we scroll down here, here's a customer deposit account, our undeposited funds account, and so forth. So if you go replace the chart of accounts, you're going to have to come back over here and you're going to have to select an account to go into each of these drop boxes for things to work properly. So it is a ton of work because there's a lot of accounting inside of Lizzy as far as the way things are set up. Now, another thing that you have is if I go in here to contacts and we locate a vendor, so let's look up Honda as an example, and we pull them up, you'll notice that they're set up as a manufacturer and supplier. And if I select the manufacturer link, you'll see that there's a lot of accounts here that I can specify as well. Now, again, you can go in and create your own chart of accounts. You can do your own stuff, but that also means you're going to have to come over here and change all these accounts. So it's a lot of work. Now, I mentioned that you're going to lose some functionality. As an example, Honda Power Equipment by default is going to go into a default miscellaneous inventory account. So here's your parts account for Honda, but here is somewhere in here it looks like somebody changed it, but there's a default manufacturer field in here for just miscellaneous vendors, and everybody goes into that miscellaneous account when you first get started. But you'll notice that there's a little wizard hat over here to the right, and what that does is it allows me to go out and create accounts for that vendor for that particular thing. So I can create a vendor specific account. I can drill in and create specific accounts for this vendor and that type of part. You can manually set these to anything you want to. So there's a lot of different options that you have here that you can take advantage of to try to help you with the accounting side of things. But you setting up your own chart of accounts means that these wizard hats no longer work, which means that you're going to have to go create the 3 new accounts, and then you're physically going to have to come over here and change them. Now, when the account changes, Lizzy will automatically move your inventory for you from the old inventory account to the new inventory account, but it's still a lot of work. When you could have just clicked the button here and Lizzy creates matching accounts in the 3 separate sections and automatically fills everything in and moves it for you. So you just, you lose a bit of functionality if you start trying to do your own chart of accounts. Now, at some point during this conversion process, you're going to want to import your trial balance stuff, and we're going to show you how to do that in a separate video. But there are things to help you with getting the balances out of your old chart of accounts into Lizzy. But we just highly recommend that you go with the flow here and use our chart of accounts We're more than certain over the years we've been doing this that you will be much happier in the long run than if you try to go back and start over on your own.